Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. So today we are doing all this. The purpose of today's video is to give you guys like a super easy, quick, fresh-faced kind of complexion look. I don't have a lot of complexion here on my channel in general just because I mostly focus on either body paint or like really funky, crazy, like out there kind of eyeshadows. So in today's tutorial, I really wanted to give you guys an accessible, easy kind of routine as far as like your day-to-day. If you are someone who is still working or going to school from home, we are going to do our entire complexion with just one brush. And I will also be talking to you guys a little bit about skincare as well, because the best prep you can ever have for your makeup is good skincare. This is really fun for me to make because it is not the usual kind of content here on this channel. I hope that it'll be something that is like pretty useful to you guys. Drop a comment down below letting me know anything else that you guys would love to see if you find this useful or helpful in any way. Also, let me know what you guys are up to. Are you going back to work? Are you still furloughed? Are you at home completely unemployed? I kind of want to check in and make sure you're all doing okay. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we're gonna hop right into it. Starting off today's video, my eyeballs are stained, like always. So skincare is something I actually very recently got more into, and by more recently, I mean like literally last year. So after I wash my face and it is dry, the first thing that I like to do is go in with a serum. This is the
Kale and Tripeptide 5 Vitamin C Hyaluronic Acid.
That is the first time I've said that and not messed up. So this is from Youth to the People. When it comes to skincare, I wouldn't just get like whatever product, you know, your favorite influencer or whatever uses, because unless you have very similar skin and skin issues or whatever it is that you want to focus on as them, the products that work for them may not necessarily work for you because skincare is so individual. I'm using the Milk Vegan Moisturizer. For those of you who don't like a super thick, like thick with a couple of C's moisturizer, I would skip this one. Look at that. That's excessive. You know what? That's fine. I really like my moisturizers to be like uber thick, like toothpaste thick, like 4 C's thick. I'm choked on air. Hydrating your skin is one of the best ways you could possibly prep your skin for a full face of makeup. And since today's video really is more so covering like, I usually do like my full-on skincare about 20 minutes before I go to apply any makeup whatsoever. So I am, after I do this next step, going to step away, maybe drink some more coffee. I don't need any more music, and let it kind of soak in. And then I'm gonna use an eye cream. This one is from Belief. It's the Believe in Yourself. It's the Believe in Yourself. I really thought they were gonna make a pun or a joke there, but they did not, and I'm ever so slightly disappointed. So I'm picking up some of that on a Q-tip, and I am going to put it here, and here, and there, and there. And when it comes to eye products, something that one of the estheticians that I talked to said is really important when you go to apply is that instead of rubbing or dragging, because you know the under eyes, they're so sensitive, this little like tapping motion, which sounds hilarious up close, is the preferred method for getting it to melt into your skin. Go figure. It's like almost therapeutic. Sometimes you go to tap a little too hard and then you start to see little fuzzies in your vision and you're like, I've made a mistake. I'm gonna let all of that soak into my skin. My inner troll wants coffee. Cheers. So I'm gonna be using a beauty oil. You can use whatever kind you want that you have that works for you. You could skip this step altogether because your options are to either use a tinted moisturizer that has some glow to it, or if I'm going to use just a very light wash of foundation. That'll be kind of up to not only what you have on hand, but like the level of coverage that you feel like you need. I feel like for the most part, my skin actually looks pretty okay. You know, I've got a couple of visitors here where I've been, you know, under my mask, like Bane. I'm picking up some of that beauty oil, and we're going to do everything just with this fluffy brush. All of our complexion today is going to be very easy, very simple. That way, if you're following along at home,
I just poked that was my eyeball.
We only put about like 2 drops of that beauty oil down, and you can use a mixing palette, a container, whatever it is that you have. Sometimes I use the back of my hand. I'm just kind of sweeping this all over the face where I want it, getting ourselves nice and glowy. If you're someone who's like super duper comfortable with your skin, you and your skin are having a good time, you're at a good place, you could actually just do this. I worked my first wedding post shutdown the other day, and this is how I prepped the mother of the bride skin. And even before foundation or anything, just having done like some normal like skin prep and then coating it with like a beauty oil, she just looked. It also helped that she was super excited that her daughter was getting married, and so she was already happy, but her skin was like gorgeous. Any place that I feel like there is like excess, because you want to give it a little bit of time to like prep. Usually you'll like prep the skin and then you'll go do the eyes and then come back to the foundation. If you feel like any of the oil is like still there and you don't want it to be, it hasn't absorbed enough, you can always feel free to pick up a Q-tip and hit those areas and just make sure that any excess oil is gone. Usually that's going to be like around the nose for a lot of people, those of you who tend to produce extra oil there. Yeah, there's like nothing coming off because it's absorbing pretty well into my super dry, thirsty skin. If you've been on my Instagram for a while, or even here, I think I've talked about how Makeup Forever is like one of my favorite foundations in general. This is their reboot, so it's like a new formula. I just don't know if I like it as much as their Ultra HD, even though it's supposed to be the same. This is to illuminate, brighten, smooth, firm, hydrate, even out. It's a lot of promises. I'm only going to be doing a pump and a half, I think, which is not very much. So I'm picking up just the faintest bit of that and I'm kind of stippling it in different areas of the skin. This is the same way that I apply to clients, the same way that I did everybody this past weekend at the wedding, just to make sure that I'm going to have like even coverage. I can already tell that's like nothing. And then we're just going to whip it real good. And then I picked up just a little bit more of that product, and instead of that sweeping motion that we did everywhere else, right here under the eyes, I'm just kind of like bouncing that fluffy brush back and forth. It's the same kind of motion you would use if you were using a beauty blender. And you can see that we didn't use a lot of foundation at all, but look how like glowy and pretty our skin looks. Like, hi there. And you guys saw that we barely used any foundation at all. Not to mention this foundation is like more of sheer coverage in general. So we used just like a pinch of that and kind of like bounced it everywhere, and look. It's like our skin is saying, look at me, I got adequate sleep and I drink water a lot. Now, ordinarily, I would just build up a little bit more of that product here under my eyes to kind of cover up any bags. I don't normally wear concealer when I go to do a look like this because it's just not that serious. But since we did stain our eyeballs with that orange and I can still see all of that color plus my eyelid veins kind of popping through, I'm gonna pick up just a little bit of concealer. This is one of the XOXO concealers. It's called Banana Milk, and I'm gonna take that same brush and I am only putting this on to kind of cover up that. If you are someone like me who has staining from the day prior, or if you're someone who has like eyelid veins, go ahead and do this step. If not, and your skin is fairly even there as well, I would skip it. Even though we have that nice like glassy appearance to our skin, especially on Zoom, depending on like your lighting or whatnot, you don't want to look flat. So we're nice and glowy, but we're gonna add just like a little bit of color. You do not have to use a cream product for this step, but since the overall goal is glowy and I have one of these, I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. This is in the color Cream Brulee. I'm picking up just the tiniest little skosh of that. And yes, this is an eyelash container and I'm using the lid. My mixing palette was literally right there. I do what I want. So I'm mixing that into a little bit of that leftover foundation. We're using that exact same brush. I'm someone who actually likes a lot of blush in general. You put on the desired amount. Remember that the goal is just to add a little bit more like color and therefore life to the face. And then I like to hit the very tip of my nose because I find that that's incredibly youthful. So you are more than welcome to leave your skin, your routine exactly here if you are comfortable with this level of face glow. We are eventually going to give ourselves like maybe a little bit of eyebrows, some lip gloss, chapstick. I'm going to add a little bit more glow. So on top of this, which is nice and beautiful and glowy, we are going to pick up my favorite highlighter, which is the Ofra Cosmetics Rodeo Drive. I'm going to use just the point of the same brush that we're using, so it's going to be just this tippity top right here, and I'm going to tap into that like so, and I'm going to hit just the very top of the cheek. a teeny tiny bit here on the nose. And since that product has now been placed, we are going to tilt the angle of our brush and really start to work on sweeping that up and back so we can build up that glow. Realistically for me, if I'm going to do all of this here to my skin and the point is just to look kind of like I woke up this way, even though I did not, I would show you a picture of what I actually look like when I wake up. But I want you to subscribe. So as far as like finishing off the face goes, to make it like super easy, fun, simple, and also synonymous with the rest of the face, I'm gonna be picking up one of my fingers, this one. I'm gonna pick up this one. I'm gonna tap that highlighter all over the lid. I'm not worried too much about placement. I just mostly, again, want to cover up some of that orange. And since I am blonde and my eyebrows do not stand out naturally, I'm gonna take a little bit of a tinted brow gel, just so that on Zoom, people can see my facial expressions. So that was it for the face. I'm gonna pop a little bit of mascara here on our lashes, also because we are blonde. And for my lips, I'm just picking up one of my favorite glosses. This is from Marc Jacobs. You can use a chapstick, you could go full on lipstick, like you do you. All right, and there you have it, you guys. That is how you get a really like soft, subtle, I woke up like this.
I absolutely did not in any way, shape, or form. Okay, I did not.
Kind of makeup look for your Zoom meetings, for your, glowy day today. If you're someone who just likes to put on a little bit of makeup to feel alive, ta-da! I love doing a full face with just one brush. I love doing something like soft and glowy to kind of contrast with the rest of my personality. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and that you find this makeup look somewhat useful. Drop a comment down below letting me know if this is something that is realistic or feasible to you, or if you guys are even wearing makeup like at all for your Zoom meetings and things like that. I love you all so much. I hope you're having a very fun, safe, healthy day, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Bye!